What's up, guys? Spiderbot here. Got a little update for you on Boom Beach here on HQ number 8. Now, I'm pretty much ready to proceed to HQ 9, assuming I get enough resources to do that. It requires 81,000 wood and 17,800 stone. However, I do have one upgrade left, and that is my landing craft. I have one single landing craft that is still level 7. So I have to upgrade to level 8. All right, but here is my final defensive setup. And the problem is, you know, in this game, matchmaking is a little wonky. I don't, you know, I think it needs to be tweaked or adjusted. But I mean, most of the matches or guys that get put up against me for attacking, I mean, they're well above my HQ. I mean, they're HQ 9, 10, 11, 12. I mean, they're way up there. And I'll show you some replays of some of those attacks. And you also have to consider when you know, until we're at this point, like everything's upgraded, right? So I've got all my cannons level 4, all my sniper towers level 9, my machine guns level 8, and my mortars level 7. Okay, that's the maximum upgrade for HQ 8. But when you first get here, obviously none of this stuff is upgraded, and you have a new sniper tower. So you only have 3 sniper towers when you start off at HQ 8. Everything's upgradable, but then you also have to build and upgrade a 4th sniper tower. Okay, so this defense, I mean, it's set up as best I can do it. I don't think that I would really modify it based on the attacks that I've seen. I don't think I can really modify it, and it's kind of like, you know, if you're running on Clash of Clans and you're really pushing your trophy level, let's say you're on Town Hall 5 and you're really pushing your trophy level, well, you're getting attacked by people that are running at Town Hall 7, Town Hall 8, maybe Town Hall 9, and there's not a whole lot you can do, especially if they have upgraded offenses, like upgraded units, right? There's not a whole lot you can do, no matter how you configure your base. And I think that's what I'm running into here. I mean, you might say, well, we can move, you know, this over to the side or whatever, or I can get attacked easily from the side. But every single replay that I have is sort of a frontal attack. I haven't had anybody try to circumvent around the outside, around the back, nothing like that. It's all been brute force, straight in. But again, they have those upgraded offenses, and I can't really, you know, there's nothing I can do about it. I can't really do anything, okay? So that's kind of my final, like I said, my final layout. Let's take a look at some replays, and we'll take a look at the most recent one, which was this one. And these guys, and you notice my army configuration right now are all warriors, right? So if we go here and we check out our units, and this guy, the warrior, level 2 warrior right now. And those guys, you know, they're pretty fast in their feet, melee only, but they do get health back every time they hit something, hit a building with the crystal hammer, right? So they're pretty tough. They're pretty tough, but guys have been just spamming it, and I did it once. I did it once on a resource base just to try it out, and I'll show you some replays later in another video of some attacks with all warriors. But I mean, we just check this out, and it's pretty simplistic. I mean, again, this guy is at least HQ 9. He sends in 18 warriors, and he's basically going to shock bomb a bunch of my defenses here, walk right through my mines, and go right for my HQ. And, you know, he's using the meta kit, which is fine, and, you know, they just take out the HQ. It's so easy for them to do that, and I hardly get, you know, I hardly take out any of his warriors. And I've seen that, you know, it's either warriors or it's a combination of heavies and tanks. Sometimes depends, but also it depends on the level of the guy or the person that's attacking me, right? Like this guy, okay? This guy's deploying level 9 heavies. Level 9 heavies, I believe, are HQ 12, okay? And a tank. I mean, I think tanks are like HQ 10 or something like that, and the barrage is at least HQ 10. So, you know, here he is barraging my defenses on the right-hand side, barraging my defenses on the left-hand side. And a lot of these defenses at this point in time, like some of them still needed upgrading. So I didn't have fully upgraded defenses. He's trying to take out the mortar on that left-hand side. He does so following up with some artillery. So, you know, 2 barrages, 3 artillery right now. That's crazy. That's a lot of energy. And then he's sending in the heavies, obviously. And my defenses are... Look, I've lost 3 of my defenses already. And I only had that one additional machine gun. That was pretty much dead already, right? So then he sends in the heavies. He's got the Zookas to follow him up, which are going to just be crazy damage on everything, and then he's got this tank. It's like, okay, let's bring in the tank. You know, like, you're not overpowered enough here, taking out all my stuff. I mean, I only have 3 snipers left now, and he brings in a tank. So I'm pretty much done. There's nothing I can do, right, against guys that are that much higher of a level. So I think once Boom Beach does release globally, hopefully the matchmaking will get better, or hopefully they can implement improvements to it, because maybe it's just based on the number of players that are available, and matchmaking is having a tough time. I don't know. Okay, so let's take a look at another home base raid. This one was 5. Okay, yeah, let's take a... we don't have a replay available, unfortunately. Okay, so those are the only replays that we can show. But I think the same thing was with this guy. I mean, I didn't get anything on him. I didn't kill any of his troops. I think he used barrage, like multiple barrages, in order to take out my defenses, and then brought in the heavies and a crazy number of Zookas to take the rest of the troops out, or to take the rest of the buildings out. And then you know, another tank, another base or guy that has tanks, 4 tanks with that one. It's just crazy, right? And if we go here and take a look, well, when do I unlock tanks? Well, I need a level 11 HQ. I'm only at 8, right? So it's I don't know. Again, not much I can do. Level 10 headquarters is required for the barrage, right? Level 11 for the tanks. It's gonna be fun when I actually get some tanks unlocked. Now, as far as taking a look at what you do on HQ8, because I didn't sort of cover this when I started my headquarters on this level. You know, what do you build first? What do you upgrade first? So one of the first things that I look at when I get to a new HQ level is my armory. Okay, armory needs to be upgraded in order to do any troop upgrades. So and it costs gold to do all your troop upgrades. All right, so yeah, I need level 6 armory required. So one of the first things I do is, as soon as I get to HQ9, and that's what I'll do here, or when I got to HQ8, I upgrade the armory. That way I could use my gold to initiate an upgrade to my units or my abilities on my gunboat, right? Because it takes a long time. Some of these upgrades now are taking up to 12 and 14 hours. So you want to get them started, because you're going to have multiple upgrades depending on what armory level you're looking at, right? So if I look at, I'm at level 5, and I look at my rifleman, my heavy, my Zooka, and my warrior, they all require level 6 armory. The other upgrades that I'm going to have when I get to level 6 are going to be the artillery, the medikit, and the mines. So I have 7 total upgrades that I can do. They're probably all going to take at least, you know, maybe 15 hours by this point in time, or even up to a day, depending. I'm not sure once I get there. So I want to make sure that I get them started so that I can have them upgrading while I'm actually taking my wood and stone and using it to build and upgrade new buildings, okay? So once that's done, it's sort of a cross between, it depends on how much resources you have, but I like the vault. I like the vault just because it protects a lot of resources. So right now, our storage is at, or our protected amount of storage could potentially be at, for gold, 34,000, wood, 18,000, and stone, 6,000. Plus, it's additionally protecting 52% of my resources that aren't protected by the vault itself. So when somebody attacks me, they can only take 48% of the resources that are over and above the amounts that are held in the vault. All right, and when you upgrade this, that percentage increases. So as well as the base storages in the vault. So I think that's one important thing. So it's kind of a cross between whether I upgrade the vault or the radar, because the radar, the nice thing with the radar, and we can look at my map right now, the radar, if you don't have any islands to attack or bases to attack, then the radar is going to open up additional areas. So if you have a lot of bases that you have available for attack, then maybe go towards the vault first. If you don't have a lot of those, then maybe go towards the radar, and that'll open up some other areas. You're still going to have to pay for them with gold, but at least you have the option while you're upgrading other stuff to run some attacks in some of those newly opened up areas. From there, I would really go, and that's what I did on HQ8. I went to my defenses, or my offenses, sorry. I went to my army. I upgraded my gunboat, and I was starting to upgrade my landing craft. Now, one thing with the landing craft, Actually, I'm going to do a separate video on that because it's somewhat complicated. But you know, I want those upgraded so that I have the ability to attack bigger and stronger bases, and that's going to return more loot for me, right? So if we go to, you know, this guy and scout him out, if we attack him and take his HQ, and most of these guys that are on this on my map right now don't give a lot of loot, but you can look at the victory reward: 46,000 gold, 5,000 wood, and 10,000 stone. So by having a stronger army, you're going to be able to pull in those resources and use those resources to apply to your building builds and upgrades. I would also look at in between those upgrades. So if you're looking at the armory, it depends on what you have available new. So if we look at, going to upgrade to 9, right? So we're going to get a new iron storage, we're going to get a new landing craft, and we're going to get a new flamethrower. That's going to be our first flamethrower. Now, chances are the flamethrower is going to take quite a bit of time to build, the initial flamethrower, simply because you don't even have one available until HQ 9, right? But if we got a sniper tower, and we had a sniper tower available, a new sniper tower to build available when we just got to HQ 8, well, it only took a few minutes to construct that sniper tower. So in that case, you know, you want to try and get those buildings up, because it's going to give you another line of defense, or if it's a residence, you want to build it because it's going to give you additional gold, or I don't think you get any additional sawmills or quarries, but you know, if it doesn't take a whole lot of time to build those new buildings, then get them built, especially the defensive ones, and maybe even upgrade it a couple times, depending on the time, and then go back to what you were doing with regards to the radar or the landing craft or the gunboat. The one reason that I didn't have one of the landing craft upgraded was because it didn't make a whole lot of sense with the number of heavies and riflemen I was running. So I upgraded some of the other ones just because of the capacity of the landing craft, okay? And then just keep upgrading. And I don't think there's really as huge a drawback in Boom Beach for progressing before you have everything upgraded. I mean, I'm still doing it. I'm still going to have everything upgraded before I go to HQ 9. But I don't think there's that as big a disincentive to do that here as there was in Clash of Clans. Clash of Clans, I highly recommend upgrading everything before you go to the next Town Hall level, just because the resource gathering is a little bit more difficult, right? Well, here, it's not so bad. It's not so bad. So even if you went to HQ 9 before you upgraded everything, you're still going to be okay, even 10, and I've seen people do it. So it's not that big a deal, but I prefer to have everything possibly upgraded for each HQ level, all right? So that's my update for HQ8, and we'll have plenty more for you next time here for Boom Beach on NGT Mobile Gaming. We'll catch you next time. Spider out.